Hello everyone, this is Dennis from boysandbunting.com. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make these really fun but simple crochet stars. Now Christmas is coming quite soon, so I'd say get crocheting and make yourself plenty of these stars. You can hang them from your Christmas tree, you can gift them to people, you can put them on Christmas cards, you can do anything you want with them. I think they're really fun. If you click on this box right here, it'll take you straight to our pattern page where you can even download our free PDF download. You can also just keep on watching, because I'm going to show you right now how to make these really fun crochet stars. Alright, so let's start. So we're going to start by making a magic loop. I'm not going to really explain how to make it. We've got a separate tutorial for that, and I will put it in a box in the corner right now. So you can click on that if you want to watch a tutorial for the magic loop. So I'm just quickly going to make it the way I make mine. Alrighty. And then we're going to chain 3. Alright, and then we're going to start doing our stitches. So I made a chain 3, and now we're going to make 2 double crochets into that magic loop. So now we've got our first cluster, our 3 chains and 2 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to do 3 double crochets this time. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to repeat this until we have 5 of these clusters all together. So chain 1, always chain 1 in between. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now by now I always like to already start tightening this circle a little bit, so I still have a little hole to work from. 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. And now we're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain 3 right there. Let's see if we can get that sharp. Yeah, we're going to slip stitch right at the top there. And I like to go underneath both those V's right there. Those 2 lines. So I'm underneath. It's a little bit tight. And just make slip stitch. Alright. So now I would pull on this tail at the back and make it as tight as I can without snapping the yarn. Now this will undo a little bit probably as you're working on it, but at the very end when you are going to sew in the ends, you can really give it another good tug and weave it all in, and it will stay tight like this, which is how it looks best, I think. Alright, so let's move on to the points of the star, because right now it doesn't look like much of anything. But you can already see the places where the points are going to be, because we've got like these, what is called a pentagon, I believe. Maybe I'm really dumb, but when it's 5 corners. Alright, so we're going to start making the first one. So we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's really important that you recognize these chains. So the first one is right there, and then you just count up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this one, this loop on your hook is nothing. The chain is the one underneath. And now you're going to make a single crochet in the second chain from your hook. So not this one, but this one. So we're going to go in, put your hook underneath 2 loops, pull your yarn through, and finish off your single crochet. Done. That's the first one done. Now we're going to make a half double crochet into the next one. So we're not going to skip anything anymore. We're going to go into the next stitch, the next chain, pull it through, and finish off your half double crochet. Now you're already starting to see the little point there. Now we're going to do yarn over and make a double crochet into the next chain. double crochet, and now to finish it off, the last one is a triple crochet. So 2 yarn overs into that last chain, which is right against your work. Again, underneath 2 loops, pull it through and finish off your triple crochet. And there it is, the first point. I think that looks really cool. So now we need to slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and we have all these chain 1 spaces all around. Now they might not be so obvious when you look at your work like this, but if you pull at it a little bit, you will see where those spaces are. So the first one is going to be there. So we'll just go in and make a slip stitch. Done. And now we're going to repeat this for all the other 4 sides. So remember, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now don't make these chains too tight. Make them really normal, because you want to be able to go in there quite easily. So single crochet into the second chain from your hook. That is 1 and 2. Half double crochet into the next one. Oh, I need to get some yarn. Double crochet into the next one. And a triple crochet in the very last one. Alright, now I'm going to do the rest and speed that up a little bit, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so I've just finished the last point. I'm going to slip stitch into that first space right there. So now we're done with the basic star, as you can see, but I don't think it looks finished. So of course you can use it like this. You can always like tweak the points a little bit to make them look pretty. Yeah, you can use it like this, but I like to add a little border around it because I just think it looks better. So let's fasten off. I always do that by pulling the yarn through one more time, then getting my scissors and just snipping the yarn and pull through, and then pull this nice and snug. So, and now we get a new color. Now this combination is going to look a little bit dreadful, but it's just to make it really clear. So I'm going to use a nice orange right here, because why not? I'm Dutch, we like orange. So I'm going to just tie a knot with the old tail and the new tail. Nothing fancy here. Just a double knot. And try and get this as close to the bind off as possible. Alright. There we have the knot now. Right there. Alright, so now we're going to do a slip stitch border all the way around. And the slip stitch is always going to go through the back loops of what we have available here. And in this case, it's the back loops of that chain 5 we made every time. And there is only one loop left, so you cannot really make a mistake here. It's just important that you see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 loops there. And that's where we're going to make our slip stitches. On the way down, we're going to go in the back loops of those stitches we made. So that would be the single crochet, half double crochet, and triple crochet. And then through the back loop of the slip stitch we have always there in the middle between the 2 points. So let's start. Now you're going to start by putting your hook into that first slip stitch, which is right next to the knot. Let's see if I can make that a bit clearer. So that would be right here. We're going to go into the back loop there. So I'm just going to go in. I've got no yarn on my hook or anything at the moment. Okay, let's pull that apart a little bit. Alright. There we go. I'm in through the back loop. Now we're going to get my new color of yarn. Don't get the tail, but get your working yarn. And we're just going to pull that through. That's the first step. Now we're going to go into that first back loop of that chain, which is right next to you. Go in, grab that yarn, and make a slip stitch. Now never pull these too tight, because it will pull on your work and it won't look pretty at all. So always try and be quite loose with your slip stitches, because slip stitches by nature are quite tight. Now we're going to go into the next one. And pull that through. And slip stitch. And the next one. And slip stitch. Now the fifth one is always a little bit trickier to spot. I mean, I think it's quite obvious. It's just that one right there. Often it pulls a little bit to the left. You can also like do it with your hands a little bit to the right first, but it's just right there, like facing you. You just go in there and finish off that fifth one. Now we're going to chain one to turn the corner. It will just look neater and it will make your points look pointy and not rounded. And now we're going to work our way down. So this is number one, back loop, slip stitch. Number two, slip stitch. Number three, slip stitch. Number four, slip stitch. And now we have that slip stitch in the middle. We're just going to go in through the back loop as well. It's a little bit harder to see, but it shouldn't be too hard. And that's the first point done. And now we're going to do the same thing again. So 5 slip stitches up and 5 slip stitches down. I sometimes like to use the hook part to get in there, because I just think it's a little bit easier. Five, chain one. Never forget to chain one at the top, because if you forget, your points will just look very round and it will start to pull, and you really need that space that one chain creates. The last one, never forget the last one. It's all the way down at the bottom. But as long as you count 5 and 5, you're not likely to make a mistake. So let's keep going. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and then I'll see you when I'm at the very end, and then I'll tell you what to do before you fasten off, because you're not going to fasten off the normal way this time. It's going to be a little bit more fancy. So, I've done all my slip stitches now, and now we need to join this up with this, but we don't want to make a slip stitch here, because it will look really ugly. Well, it won't look really ugly, but it just won't look as neat as I'd like it to look. So what we're going to do now is literally just snip off our yarn. So I'm going to leave this on the hook for now, and I'll leave like a 4-inch tail, snip. And now you need a darning needle right here. So I'm going to thread, oh wait. 1 second. First, what we're going to do is just pull on your hook and just pull the yarn out there. Done. Now I've pulled my stitch a little too tight. Alright. So just pull the yarn out there. Now I'm going to get my needle and thread the yarn. There we go. Now hold your work like this. You're going to enter your needle underneath these 2 strands of yarn from your very first slip stitch. So that's 1, 2. So we're underneath. Now just pull your yarn through. And make sure you get that end through there. That was step 1. Now the only thing that's left to do is put your needle back in where the yarn came out of. So that's right here into that last slip stitch we made. Now I don't normally just go in underneath there, but I'd like to go in through the work itself. So right there, for example, so that it's easier to sew in later on. So I pull it through, and now have a look with me. We're going to slowly pull on this. And now, once we've created the same tension of the rest of the stitches, you can really not tell anymore where you've started this border and where you ended the border, because everything will look exactly the same. Now, like I said, you can just pull it tighter to match the rest of the stitches. And then all that's left is just sewing in the ends in the back. And that's your star, with a cute little border around it. Now you can attach a little loop or something to hang it from the Christmas tree. You can stick it on cards, pretty much anything. Now I think they're really great fun. So definitely make many of them if you're gonna make these. Also, once you've made one or two, they'll be so easy to make again. You probably won't even need to look at the pattern anymore. And if you have any questions, like, just write it down below or send us a message to the website. And good luck making these. Bye!